Welcome back. And today, we are going to explore something that almost everyone experiences, but very few truly understand: the constant noise inside the mind, the feeling that your thoughts never stop, that even in silence, your mind keeps moving, analyzing, worrying, replaying, and imagining, leaving you mentally tired without doing any physical work. And the truth is simple but often misunderstood. Your mind itself is not the enemy. It is not broken. It is not designed to make you suffer. Instead, it is your habits, your daily patterns, and the way you use your attention that create this endless mental activity. And the first major reason behind this restless state is that your mind is overloaded with information. Every single day, you are consuming far more than your brain can comfortably process. From social media scrolling to constant notifications, videos, news updates, conversations, and messages, your brain is always receiving input without pause. And the problem begins the moment you wake up, because instead of giving your mind a calm start, many people immediately grab their phones, scroll through feeds, check messages, and expose their brain to dozens of new thoughts before even stepping out of bed, which means your mind starts the day already crowded, already active, already overwhelmed, and this pattern continues throughout the day without any real break, leaving your brain no space to recover, no silence to settle, and just like your body needs rest after physical activity, your mind also needs moments of stillness to function properly. But when you keep feeding it nonstop information, it becomes exhausted and creates what feels like mental noise, a constant background activity that never truly stops. And another important thing to understand is that too much information does not create clarity, it creates confusion. Because when your mind is filled with too many ideas, too many opinions, and too many inputs, it struggles to decide what actually matters. And this confusion slowly turns into stress, making even simple decisions feel heavy. And even when you think you have forgotten something, your brain still holds traces of it, increasing the overall mental load without you realizing it. And this is why reducing unnecessary input brings a powerful benefit, which is clarity. Because when your mind has less to process, it becomes lighter, sharper, and more focused. And this leads to another truth: silence is not empty, it is necessary. Because without silence, your mind never resets. It keeps running on accumulated noise, and most of what you consume daily is not even useful, yet it still takes up space in your thinking, which is why learning to control what you allow into your mind is so important. Choosing quality over quantity, limiting distractions, and giving yourself moments of quiet can completely change how your mind feels. Because when stimulation decreases, calmness naturally begins to appear. And this brings us to the second major reason why your mind feels restless: you are constantly living in the future instead of the present. Your thoughts are always focused on what might happen next, what could go wrong, what needs to be done, and what you should prepare for, even when nothing is actually happening at that moment. Your mind stays busy creating scenarios, imagining possibilities, and trying to predict outcomes. And this happens because the future is uncertain, and your brain naturally tries to reduce uncertainty by thinking ahead. But the more it tries to control what has not happened yet, the more stress it creates. Because complete control over the future is impossible. And this constant anticipation leads to overthinking, which often turns into anxiety, especially when your thoughts focus on negative possibilities, making your mind feel like there is a problem even when everything is fine. And another key truth is that many of your fears do not exist in reality. They are created entirely in your imagination. Yet, your brain reacts to them as if they are real, which is why your body feels tense and your mind feels restless. And once you become aware of this pattern, you gain the ability to shift your focus back to the present moment, where calmness actually exists. Because the present does not carry the same uncertainty as imagined futures. And when you bring your attention to simple things like your breathing, your surroundings, or the task in front of you, your mind begins to slow down. And you realize that peace is not found by solving every future problem, but by fully experiencing the current moment. And this understanding helps you reduce unnecessary thinking about what has not happened yet, allowing you to focus only on what you can control right now, which creates clarity, better decisions, and less pressure. And it is important to remember that planning is useful, but constant worrying is not, because planning helps you move forward, while overthinking keeps you stuck. And the more you train your mind to return to the present instead of wandering into endless future scenarios, the stronger and calmer your mental state becomes. And this is one of the most powerful steps toward controlling your thoughts and creating a peaceful mind. Another deep reason why your mind never feels calm is that it keeps returning to the past again and again, replaying old situations, analyzing mistakes, and questioning what could have been done differently. And this mental habit creates a loop where even small events continue to live inside your mind long after they are over, making it difficult for you to feel relaxed in the present moment because your attention is constantly pulled backward. And the truth is that no matter how much you think about the past, you cannot change it. Yet, your mind keeps trying as if repetition will somehow fix what has already happened. And this creates frustration, regret, and self judgment, slowly affecting your confidence and emotional state. And what makes this even more powerful is that your brain does not clearly separate memory from reality. So when you replay a situation repeatedly, your emotions react as if it is happening again, which is why past events can still make you feel stressed or uncomfortable in the present. And the key shift here is understanding that thinking about the past without learning from it is a waste of mental energy. But when you focus on extracting a lesson instead of repeating the mistake, you turn that experience into growth. And acceptance becomes an important step, not because everything that happened was perfect, but because it is finished and cannot be changed. And once you accept that, your mind begins to release the weight it was holding, allowing you to feel lighter and more peaceful. And this leads to another major reason for mental restlessness. You have developed a habit of overthinking. And many people believe this is just how their mind works, something permanent and uncontrollable. But in reality, overthinking is a learned behavior that becomes stronger through repetition. Because every time you analyze a situation excessively, your brain strengthens that pattern, making it automatic over time. And what feels like problem solving is often just the same thought being repeated in different forms without reaching any real solution, draining your energy and leaving you mentally exhausted. And this happens because your brain becomes used to constant thinking, creating a cycle where silence feels uncomfortable and activity feels normal. And breaking this pattern requires awareness, the ability to notice when you are thinking too much and intentionally shifting your focus, often through physical action, movement, or engaging in a task that brings your attention back to reality. And another important realization is that not every thought deserves your attention. Just because something appears in your mind does not mean you have to follow it. And learning to let thoughts pass without reacting to them is a powerful skill that reduces mental noise significantly. And closely connected to this is the issue of attention, because your mind follows wherever your attention goes. And if your attention is constantly shifting from one thing to another, your mind will never settle, and in today's environment, your attention is being pulled in multiple directions by notifications, apps, and constant digital stimulation, making it difficult to stay focused on one thing for long. And this scattered attention creates a scattered mind. But when you begin to control your focus, even for short periods, you experience a sense of calm because your mind is no longer jumping between thoughts And practicing this through simple exercises like focusing on your breathing or completing one task at a time helps strengthen your ability to stay present. And finally, one of the most powerful causes of mental restlessness is the need to control everything, the belief that thinking more, planning more, and worrying more will somehow give you complete control over life. But the reality is that life is uncertain and unpredictable, and trying to control every outcome only increases anxiety because your mind is attempting something impossible, and this creates tension as you constantly prepare for situations that may never happen. And the solution is not to stop caring, but to shift your focus toward what you can actually control: your actions, your effort, and your attitude. While accepting that outcomes are not always within your power, and this acceptance does not weaken you, it frees you because instead of fighting reality, you begin to work with it, reducing stress and creating a sense of ease. And when you let go of the need to control everything, your mind relaxes, becoming lighter and more flexible, and trust becomes an important part of this process. Trusting that your effort is enough and that you can handle whatever comes your way. And when you combine all these understandings, reducing unnecessary input, focusing on the present, letting go of the past, breaking overthinking habits, controlling your attention, and accepting uncertainty, you begin to see that calmness is not something you chase, it is something you create by changing how you think and live. And in the end, your mind is not your enemy. It is simply responding to how you use it. And the moment you start observing instead of reacting, focusing instead of scattering, and accepting instead of controlling, your mind naturally becomes quieter, clearer, and more peaceful.